Lesson 57 in the series of 100 jazz violin lessons. Okay, now, as you can feel, some of the stuff is getting a little deeper, and I'm trying to give you tricks on how not to get overwhelmed with this stuff and think of it quicker so that you can do your job number one, which I mentioned before, which was the emote. Emoting in your music is the most important thing. So not thinking about this stuff, which I talked about in the last video, is very important. So you're going, well, how do I know all these notes and these chords you're talking about? Well, I had somebody ask me that years and years ago when I was first started teaching. I started teaching when I was like 16. And somebody asked me, how can you think of this stuff so fast? I'm not just some super genius. I actually had kind of a mistaken head start. I could go a long-winded story, but my mother taught me the basics of music theory when I was about 10 years old. She had just learned it. She is a church organist and didn't know anything about chords. She just learned to read the stuff and decided to get some theory lessons and got the basics and came home and showed them to me. So, and I had about 3 years in there where I just kind of did my own thing on the piano and until I started studying jazz guitar when I was about 13. And in those 3 years, I realized later that I had made up my own system for memorizing and being able to spell chords super quick and didn't even know it until I started to teach later. And I'll teach it to you right now. It's what I call the core chord system, the 7 core. You don't have to know everything. You don't have to know all 15 keys and every 1, 4, 5 and every key at this point. What you need to know is just a few basics and build on them. I've done other videos about this, but I had the system I call Jeff's handy dandy core chord system. So if you memorize the 3 easiest ones first, which is what I did as a 10-year-old, and those are the ones on the piano, which are all the white keys for me. So it was C, F, and G. Now I've made a list here, and in the first column, you know, Triad spelling. Again, I just found this piece of paper in my guitar case, and it's got a Sharpie out. Really high tech, huh? And the 7 chord triad. So first, we're going to go over the first 3. Now I'll put this up close. You can write them down. You can copy it. You can take a screenshot of it or something. Memorize these 3. I'm telling you, and everything else will come from here. This is the same way people do math in their head, I realized later. So just make some flashcards, do whatever it takes to just memorize these blankly. It's not that many. It's only 3 of them, and they're 3 notes each. So it's the C chord. These are the 3 that have only white keys. C, E, G, F, A, C, G, B, D. Let me play them. C, E, G, F, A, C, G, B, D. All these are majors. We'll start with major, remember, because everything should be standardized. You start with something as major, and you can alter it from there. So those are the 3 easiest ones. Once you got those memorized, then you can memorize the next 3. The next 3, in my 10-year-old mind, were easy, one step easier, because they only had 1 black key in them, or 1 sharp in the middle. D, E, and A. That's D, F sharp A, E, G sharp B, and A, C sharp E. I'll play these. D major, E major, and A major. Again, all these majors. In my 10-year-old mind, majors sounded easier, so I just kind of went with that. So, memorize the first 3, make some flashcards, memorize the second 3, then you got 6, and of the 7 of the chord, I found there's one other one I had to memorize, which is some type of B. I found in my 10-year-old mind that it was easier to memorize B flat than it was B. That seems strange at first because it starts on a black key, but think about it. And if it's B flat, D, F, D and F are both natural keys, natural notes. It has 2 natural notes. If it was B, you'd have to raise all these a half step. What would that do to them? It'd make it B natural, D sharp, and F sharp. It would have 2 black keys. So we just did that by transposing it up a half step. Because we knew the B flat, and this is the B flat major, we could also know then B, and it gives you a hint of how this system works. Memorize those 7, and you'll be able to spell anything. I'll tell you in the next video how.